Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal, the International. Begin with our top stories. The trials of the 17 suspects in the Martinez Zogo assassination affair has been postponed for next May 6, 2024. This for the communication of witnesses and the trial proper. Suspected separatist fighters are reported to have burnt about 16 motorcycles this Monday morning at Jab village, about 3 kilometers from Cambe town in Tonga Mantu division of the northwest region of Cameroon. And today Monday, April 15, marks the official beginning of the third term in Fumban. We'll tell you more on the resumption of the classes for the third term in Yaoundé and in other parts of Cameroon. Good evening once more. The trials of the 17 suspects in the Martinez Zogo assassination affair has been postponed for next May 6, 2024. These are 4 of the communication of witnesses and the trial proper. They appeared before the Yaoundé Military Tribunal. Today, Monday, but the presiding judge and defense lawyers could not reach a compromise on 3 major issues for the business of the day to unfold smoothly. We'll come back to that in a subsequent editions of Newscast. Suspected separatist fighters are reported to have burnt about 15 motorcycles this Monday morning at Jab village, about 3 kilometers from Cambe town in Tonga Mantu division of the northwest region of Cameroon. It is believed the riders of the bikes were carrying out their commercial activities as usual in defiance of the Monday ghost town, as Cambe has always been indifferent to separatist activities. After the acts of arson, the gunmen are said to have taken into captivity the 2 features. Meanwhile, the pioneer director of the Bamenda Center for Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Center, Gabsa Sistus, has died. The information is contained in the social media handles of some of his family members, announcing the death of the as feature and long-time principal of government's secondary institutions and who hails from Balikumbat in the Ngokitinja division. Come back to that in subsequent editions of Newscast. We stay in the northwest region of Cameroon this time around to talk about back to school, whereas schools resume this Monday in other parts of Cameroon for the third term and final term of the 2023-2024 academic year in the northwest region. There are indications that pupils and students and teachers will only pick up their pens, books, and pieces of chalk as from tomorrow, Tuesday, April 16. This as a result of the persistent 7-year Monday ghost town that grounds almost all official and economic activities as inhabitants stay at home for fear of being victimized by separatist fighters whose foreign-based leaders imposed the day since 2017. And we talk back to school for the third term, described as one of the decisive attempts for students and pupils across Cameroon. And we take you to the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, where our reporter Hysen Cha visited some schools to get the ambience on the first day of classes. His story.
The die is cast for the third and final term of the academic year 2023-2024. Pupils and students, after 2 weeks of the Easter break, return to their respective schools this Monday, April 15, to tackle the term, which is the shortest but decisive, as reminded by their teachers.
As I was telling my students this morning, we are at the end of it all. We are at the end of it, and I believe we've really worked What is left is just a few scratches to be covered up and all of that, you know. With the third term, there are a lot of public holidays and official exams are coming up, coupled to the fact that this is a center. So we are doing everything possible to run up in good state.
Our main focus for this term is to see how we can blend these activities with pedagogy and make sure that the academic year comes to a successful end.
While some are fine-tuning preparations to handle official examinations, others will be working towards moving to the next class, and those with very poor result in the 2 previous segments of the school year will have to burn the midnight candle to catch up before the final whistle is blown. The different schools in the nation's political capital have reiterated that candidates for national exams must diversify their strategies to be ready for the task.
You should equally know that the fact that the electricity is not constant, they should devise other means that will permit them to read, like getting either local lamps or getting solar panels that can help them study at night. And that equally, they shouldn't forget the aspect of discipline, because if you work without discipline, you can never have success.
The pedagogues intensifying the revision process to keep the candidates on track.
And in Fumban, in the west region of Cameroon, thousands of students answered presents on the first day of classes, described as short and very decisive. They're already in full swing with preparations for the upcoming official examinations. More with our reporter, Christy Ayari.
The die is cast for the 3rd and final term of the academic year 2023-2024.
It is at 7:30 a.m. Monday, and students of the Sultan Ibrahim Joya College in Fumban appear all ready to begin the last school term on a positive note. The campus bustling with students and teachers.
Back to school is effective. All the students are in class. All the teachers present. Classes are going on normally without any difficulties.
To ensure that students are well prepared for the upcoming official exams, supervisors have organized an educational talk. During the session, they provide valuable advice and encourage students to work hard in order to achieve excellent results.
We have equally put in place a team to come up with tutorials in order to catch up with some of the students that they are unable to answer questions. They're working on past examination questions so that they can be well drilled. Everything is perfect at this level.
The students themselves express their determination to tackle the decisive and challenging term.
I'm preparing for my exam, GCE exam very well. It's starting on May the 28th, so we are preparing how we are going to do all those things for revision. That is why we came today very early, so that we can start our school, and so we see how we are going to prepare for the GCE examination that is coming.
The school administration is also playing an active role in supporting the students' exam preparation. They have implemented additional study sessions and provided access to supplementary materials.
In the wake of a violent storm accompanied by strong winds on March 31 in the village of Garga in the Damawa region of Cameroon, disaster-stricken residents have witnessed an outpouring of active solidarity. These communities grappling with the aftermath have found solace in the timely support extended by the Lamido of Menganga. Christy Ayare, Gladys Ambodiba.
Amongst the devastated public infrastructure in Garga stands the government bilingual high school. Its roof torn off by the fierce storm and torrential rain, and nearby an elderly man endeavors to rebuild his shattered house. This house belongs to this father. All 3 of his homes were destroyed. That's what we are rebuilding now. He is one of the 200 villagers impacted by the relentless downpour and wild winds on March 31st, 2024, with many hailing from Gunbela, Mbutu, and Bambungo. Nearly 1,000 sheets of zinc were distributed to them, a gesture of solidarity from the wider community in response to the urgent call for aid initiated by the Lamido of Garga. This year, I finally completed construction on a new building, only to have the roof ripped away by the storm. I am grateful to the support of the Lamido of Garga. Yet, amidst gratitude, there is a plea for more assistance from the state. I urge the government to step in and offer further aid. The traditional leader visit to offer solace to his affected subject, expressing his desire for continuous solidarity. Countless families have been affected. During the ceremony overseen by the subdivisional from Garga, prayers were offered for the protection and provision of families engaged in reconstruction efforts.
Over the weekend in Douala, the Muslim community of the littoral and southwest regions convened for their inaugural educational meeting, emphasized the importance of youth engagement in the electoral processes, all while upholding the values of Islam. More with our reporter, Saleh Sherifa.
The pivotal dialogue between the Muslim community and the Council of Muslim Leaders and Dignitaries from Littoral and the Southwest regions in Douala, April 14, 2024, was a fervent call to the younger generation to actively participate in voters' registration, a cornerstone of civic responsibility underscored by Chief Bako, the President of the Council, and esteemed Muslim figures from the two regions. During the gathering that held at the New Bell Congo neighborhood, attendees were reminded that possessing a voter's card is not just a right, but a civic duty, echoing the sentiment that active political participation is vital for societal progress. Chief Bako and other leaders stressed the significance of unity and peace, urging the community to pray for Cameroon's harmony and development. It was also an event to showcase the commendable efforts of several women within the Muslim community, acknowledging their invaluable contributions to family and social welfare.
And today is being commemorated as World Arts Day, and we take interest in the Cameroonian plastic artist Mboko Lagrif. His work was crowned by King Mohammed VI in Morocco during the Muharram 2026 edition. He decided to give a street giant a fresco. As the end following story.
This is Mboko Lagrif. Just with his brush and a mixture of different colors of paints in these bottles, Mboko Lagrif is able to bring light in his street, taking away darkness, especially in this period of power outrages. I said to myself, since people are sad because of the recent light outrages, I decided to do this to be able to bring more light to the road. I wanted to do something for my neighborhood. Passerbys can't stop but have it glare through the paintings on the walls and admire. This is what some of his neighbors have to say about this great talent. The road here was kind of dead, with gutters, light seizures and so on. With this decoration that he brought to this street, it has brought light to the neighborhood. When people pass here, they take pictures and selfies. What he has done is quite beautiful. We really appreciate this work. This artwork brings us joy because it is not easy to have someone like him. It's not easy. Boko, like many other artists, calls for assistance of any kind for his materials are quite costly.
J'ai lancé un appel sur les réseaux.
I put this through social media platforms so that people could help me with the paints and other materials. I see how people pass by and snap pictures. They talk about the wonders of this art. With every stroke of his brush, Boko Lagrive has painted not just on walls, but on minds and hearts of those in his neighborhood and sun-dry.
The new Executive Bureau of the Boom Development Union Douala has been commissioned with a call for the children of Boom to come together for the development of their village. More on the story with our reporter Kejang Henry Atembe.
There's a dawn of a new era for the people of Boom in Boyo division of the Northwest region of Cameroon with the installation of the new Executive Bureau of Boom Development Union Douala.
Boom Development Union is a union that gathers all the Boom people, and they are doing everything. When you talk about bringing, I mean just everything. We play politics. We contribute for development projects in Boom and otherwise. Actually, at the moment, we are preparing to send children back to school.
This important union gathered the kith and kin of Boom on April 14, 2024 to look after the interest of their community. That is why the children of the paramount ruler Fonya Peter Kwanga came from far and wide and converged on Douala to chart a way forward for peace to return through their community.
We are gathering today so that those our brothers and sisters that have not been willing to join us, to work together with us for the sake of development in Boom, they should be able to come in now. That the hand of the leadership in BDU is just a youth.
The Boom community did not hesitate to call for their children to go back to school. Boom wants to develop from the scourge of the pervasive conflict that has hindered development in their area. That is why they are calling on all the sons and daughters of Boom scattered across the country to join the community effort and help the village grow.
I'm here to represent the national for the installation of this new bureau because we had elections a few weeks ago. So we are here today to install them.
Boom shares boundaries with Bui, Donga Mantung and Menchum divisions of the Northwest region.
And that's how we saw it on this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Thanks so much for watching. We're coming up next is The Brief with Lil Peugeot. As for me, I'll be back same time tomorrow. Good night.
Canal International.